everybody, welcome to our next exit. That is something we never enjoy seeing, but most all of us have seen it in our RV travels around the country. But hey, it's pretty easy to fix. Call the front desk and say, my electricity's got a faulty ground. Somebody needs to come fix it. Not my problem, your problem. Fix it. But you know, kind of like I do sometimes, I jump to conclusions. I assumed that it wasn't my problem. Just like this boat. This is just across the street from our campground, a couple of 100 yards away. I went out for my walk, saw the boat, saw the big long rope going out to the anchor. I thought, you knucklehead, you anchored way too close to the shore and the waves just pulled your boat in overnight, or high tide pulled it in. I'm not an ocean guy, so I don't know all this stuff, but that's what I thought, just stupid owner. You have to stay tuned to the end of the video if you want to see what happened to this boat and what the hell it's doing up here on the beach. So is that the owner's fault or not? I don't know. But the good news is, that's not my problem. We're here at Whalers Rest with our friends Larry and Janice. And we went to this big aquarium right inside Newport, and it started making me think about our problem with our electricity back at Lake Tahoe, and how it's so easy to just look at the obvious answer, and it's not always the obvious answer that's causing a problem. Just like when you're here looking at the water at these ponds in the aquarium, what you see on top of the surface may not have anything to do with what's going on underwater. Same in your RV. And come to find out, a high quality surge protector does a whole lot more than just protect your incoming power. You've got all kind of electronics and electrical systems inside your RV. Any one of them can throw a wrench in the whole kit and caboodle. Because eventually, something's going to sneak up and bite you on the butt.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I find it fascinating.
Fascinating. Yeah, I found it kind of fascinating too. Let me kind of tie all this together. We were at Lake Tahoe a couple of months ago, and this is our surge protector. It's a Surge Guard 34750. We've had it since 2008. And our whole assumption was, once we had it plugged into the pedestal, if we got green lights from it, we were good all the way to the campgrounds transformers. We didn't have to worry about power. And then from the surge protector going back, it goes to the automatic transfer switch and then up to the circuit breakers. And I thought we were protected inside by the circuit breakers, so we should be good. But we kept getting those warning lights. So we simply went to the office, as we do when that happens, and they were nice enough. They gave us another site. We packed everything up, moved over, unrolled our power cord from the reel, plugged it in, green lights. Everything's going good. We had several friends there. We had a day or two of playing dominoes, barbecuing out, riding our bicycles around South Lake Tahoe. It was great. And we had totally forgot about any electrical problems that we might have. And on top of all that, our new site, we got to meet some of our subscribers, Matt and Yvonne. They came over and talked to us about Thousand Trails. Everything was going just great until this happened. Now that'll get your heart pumping, if anything will. In an RV, a fire is about the worst thing that could happen. But you can see we didn't burn down, we still got the RV. But I didn't know what that boom was. It sounded like maybe a tire blew up, or maybe one of our airbags. But then I looked up and saw that smoke coming out of the air conditioner, and I just assumed it was a fire. Pearl was gone, Tinker was here, but I started heading out, but I couldn't smell any fire smell, and I didn't see anything when I went outside. I climbed up on the roof, and there was no smoke, there was no nothing there. And so I came back down, everything seemed to be just fine. There was no smoke, no nothing. I turned the circuit breaker off on the air conditioner, and I just assumed it got old, and maybe that's what they do when air conditioners get old. They go boom and go fall over dead. I later found out from one of our friends, Wayne, that it was the Freon. He said, go up there and look around your air conditioner, see if you see a lot of slick, oily looking stuff. And that'll be Freon. That'll mean that's what it was. So I went up, took the cover off, and yeah, there was oil all inside there. There was even some out around the edge of it. So somewhere the Freon line burst. And that was the Freon. It was just a mist, not smoke. So but didn't have power going to it. The thermostat was turned off. I guess it has power going to it, but it wasn't turned on. But we got it turned off, and I didn't associate with that and I still don't know if it has anything to do with our electricity or not. But the middle of the afternoon, Pearl went to turn, we have 3 air conditioners, Pearl went to turn the middle one on there in the kitchen, and it made a funny sound, that buzzing, like electricity that wasn't happy, and it didn't come on. So we turned that circuit breaker off, and thinking, now something's weird. Our surge guard still had a green light, still was letting power come through. So we didn't think it was anything to do with power, the pedestal, or our surge protector or anything. To be honest, we didn't have any idea what was going on. But 2 different things happened. The one blew up the Freon, and then the number 2 AC wouldn't work and was making like a electricity shorting out noise. So I was just kind of thinking, but I wasn't totally worried about it. And then later on in the same day in the evening, Pearl went to do a load of laundry in the washing machine, and it made that electrical sound. Okay, now it's starting to get expensive, and it's going way above my pay grade on electricity. And like Pearl said, it's getting fascinating, and it's getting expensive. So it's time to call in a technician if we can find one. We looked on the internet. There didn't seem to be any. There's some RV technicians, but it didn't look like in their ads that they were really electrical specialists. I need a licensed electrical technician or something. And down in Reno or Carson, there's RV dealerships and RV shops, but it was going to be weeks before we could get it in, and no telling how long before we get it out. So I started just digging into it and following. The pedestal checked out good, and that surge guard may or may not be good, so we ordered a new Hughes watchdog, and it'll be here in about a week. And I just started going from there towards the RV, and the first thing I ran into is this big bad boy here. This is the electrical cable reel that you push a button. It's got these couple of wires, you push the button, and it just starts spinning and reels in your electrical cable, which is great, especially in cold weather when that cable's so stiff, hard and stiff. So it's got an inspection plate. Well, let me show you. So I'll get it from a different angle.
See, there's an inspection plate here. So first you unwind all of your hose, get all of your hose out of the way, take off the inspection plate, and this little plate here is riveted on. You have to drill the rivets out. And this is where your cable hooks onto these 4 bolts.
All right, problem solved. This here obviously is what was causing our issue. And these things are, this one's tight. This one here loose, spins around. This one's burnt out. Here on this end there's a big hole in it, and it's bent over. So I never had any idea that a surge protector, I thought it just functioned from the pedestal to the transformer at the RV park. I never knew that it could, if your coach wasn't able to receive the power, it would shut it off and not let it come to the coach if it couldn't receive it. But apparently that's what it was doing. Both of them, our old surge guard and the new Hughes watchdog surge protector, and I never knew that. So it is my problem, just like we talked about at the first. That was burned through. The last quarter or more, close to a ½ inch, was burned through. That's our whole problem.
And you have this rotor in here that, as you pull the reel out, your contacts can ride on those 3 bands. But as you can see, this one here is burned up. This one here is super loose. This one's kind of okay. They're all covered in this black crud. So that pretty much explains why sometimes our surge guard would work, give us a green light, and sometimes it would give us a red light. If the little prong here, if it made good contact on all three contacts, and then the common over there, it would say good to go, let her go, and have a green light. But if you move the cord or you reel it in to move sides, you're just moving the cord, and this doesn't have a good contact wherever it stops, then it'll say no, we don't have contact with that ground wire or the leg one, and give you a red light, shut it down. Makes total sense. These things cost about $1,000, so I'm thinking that we've got it set up now, wired in direct, and I kind of like it that way. So we'll wait and see and do some price checking. But I'm so glad that we got to the bottom of this and got our power lined out. So our cord, we don't have a surge protector on the pedestal. We put it right in here where our reel was. It used to roll our cord up. We took the reel out and put our Hughes autoformer that increases the voltage. That's right there. That is this cord. Goes into our Hughes autoformer, and then our watchdog plugs into the back of the Hughes autoformer and has the cable going out to the engine compartment and then over to the automatic transfer switch, giving us power. And that's where the reel was before, where it would just reel it in automatically. In fact, here's the switch that would reel it in. I can assure you, we would have had a heck of a time trying to get the that electric cable reel up out of that compartment if we didn't have that access hole in our rear closet. So it wasn't a bad job at all. So remember, even though things are going smooth up on top of the water, there's a lot of things going on underneath that you just never know about until you know about it. Oh yeah, speaking of that boat that was pulled up on the beach, well, it was there for a week. It landed there. They found it there Friday night a week ago. And the Coast Guard said that a guy stole it from the Newport Marina. That's 7 miles north of our campsite here. So stole it from the marina Friday night, come out and got out in the water. I don't know how long he's out in the ocean. But he said, he told the Coast Guard that he fell asleep. And his boat come up and it got stuck. It got stuck a lot further out. He had to jump in and swim in. They said he was in an altered state, which nobody knows what that means up here in Oregon. But they caught him, and he's doing whatever he's got to do. And it took him a week to get permission from whoever, the Coast Guard or the environmental guys. And they brought a big old tracked hoist thing down, drove up over the boat, got their straps under it, however they do that, lifted it up. Oh, and first they had to build a road. There's some streams coming in. And they built a road, put a lot of rocks and stuff covered over all those streams, and then drove right over it, and then drove out right out the road. So it looks pretty easy once you see them doing it. We didn't get to see it. We were 3 or 4 hours late. They were already gone by the time we went over there to check on it. All right, that pretty much covers it. We got that Watchdog surge protector and the Hughes autoformer. They're all hardwired into that little compartment where our 50 amp cable used to, the reel was located. And then I'm going to wait till we get back to Yuma this winter to decide what to do about that reel, replace it or just leave it like it is. We're going to be in pretty much 65 to 70 degree temperatures between now and the time we get back to Yuma. So I'm not too worried about the air conditioners. But the one problem I do have, I haven't been brave enough to tell Pearl I may not be able to fix that washer dryer till we get back to Yuma. So I got to figure out how to ease into that. We're going to be leaving tomorrow. We're headed up to Seaside, about 100 miles north. And life is good. One thing to update you guys on, I never knew this, but what caused, I think, all that black on there and doing my research, you're not supposed to move that reel while you have power going to your coach. You really need to turn off the circuit breaker on your power pedestal before you push that button to reel that reel in or out. I pushed that button and reeled it in and out all the time with power on it. So that probably caused the problem. So I guess the bottom line is, it is my problem. But everything's working smooth now. We got beautiful weather. We're going to meet some more friends up at Seaside. Life is good. So until we see you guys again next time, keep the wheels rolling, stay safe. We'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye, folks.